Hey guys, my name is Rachel and welcome to Brackish. We've been here at the harbor for about 2 years now. I was working in corporate retail since I was 16 years old. Started as a sales associate and worked my way all the way up to running my own store. And then about 5 years ago, it closed. So I had to figure out what to do. I've always had a love for fashion, and we like to surf, we like to skate, we like to snowboard, we like to ski. That's what we do for hobbies. And one of our favorite things to do on vacation is to always check out the local surf skate shops. So I figured, like, why not? Why not take the jump? So that's kind of how Brackish was started. I've been skating now like 5 years on and off at the skate park. You're going to basically a group of men. So it can be super uncomfortable. I get anxious too, but you work through it, and honestly, the more you show up and the more you just start skateboarding, people will come up and talk to you and make friends with you, and that's how the skate community is. We're all in it with each other. Once you show up, once people kind of get to know you, it doesn't become as uncomfortable. Having more meetups for women, having more things geared towards women in skateboarding will help women feel more comfortable. This man right here is my other half. This is Kev.
I know that was a focus of yours when we opened the shop, was sizing and availability for women stuff in shops. And that was one of her big things. She was like, I can never buy skate shoes.
Right here we have our shoe section. We do carry all of our apparel down to women's sizing, all of our shoes down to women's sizing.
Because if you try and go support your local and they don't have anything for you, you don't know where to go. You know, us small shops supporting women on the smaller scale will help people feel more comfortable.
With the store, skateboarding has become just a massive part of my life. Skateboarding is hard for me. It's challenging. I have to push myself. I fall, I fail, I have to get back up. I have to push for more to progress. Business is like that as well. So every day you just have to push and go forward, and you're gonna fail, and you just have to get yourself up and try again. That's really one of the hardest parts of the business. And I think skateboard teaches that, just for life in general. To fall and get back up and try again.
The amount of times that we've wanted to just throw in the towel and we're done with this.
There have been so many times.
Hundreds of times.
I come in and I'm just I'm done. I'm closing. I'm done with this. But just like skateboarding, it's you persevere. You find that strength inside of you to keep going. The number one thing about starting your own business is you have to be passionate about it, because if you're not, during the tough times, you will probably quit if you don't love it. So skateboarding and business are very similar, and you fail and you try again and you learn from your mistakes.
And the gratification of success is what keeps you going.
My name is Zara Berry. I founded Bearings magazine. I'm the chief editor. I also write for the magazine and I take all the photos. So I have a small team. It's me and 2 other women. We document the underground arts and music scene and skateboarding scene in Washington, D.C., amplifying and emphasizing DC voices. And all over, but we're spreading our wings, but mostly DC. I love to write. I'm a writer. That's who I am. I needed an outlet and a platform for me to be creative and expressive and not have pressure or lose creative control. So this is just a platform for my writing and my photography. You can write about whatever you want in the world. If you feel very strongly about your community, if you feel really strongly about the state of the world, if you feel very strongly about certain issues, you can express that. And you can use that expression to find other like-minded people who feel the same way or who aren't as informed yet about those things. events that we coordinate and promote and put together with a specific intention. That's our time to shine together. It's very much needed because we have all the tools here, and the events is where we can use the tools to build something that will last longer than us. We at Shaw Skate Park, and it's bowl time. Bowl time is a men's mental health group discourse, and we have group leaders who kind of facilitate and lead that safe space for people to share their experiences and know that they can lean on each other in challenging times. And we do Women's Wellness Circle. I wouldn't say it's explicitly geared toward mental wellness. It's all encompassing, and it contributes to our collective wellness and health. Skateboarding found me through the cannabis industry. It was just like my mode of transport. A lot of us are exposed to skateboard culture by what we see in the media, but that was my first time really being exposed to skateboard culture in person. Now, I get to learn tricks. I get to just relax at the skate park and enjoy the company and enjoy the community. Skateboarding, like, you're falling on your ass. Like, you could break your bones, you could break your head. Like, it's looked at as a dangerous thing to do, and it very much is. So I think the common thread between being an entrepreneur and being a skateboarder is you're a risk taker. You don't mind taking risk, and you don't mind high risk, high reward situations. That's what entrepreneurship is, community building and high risk, high reward. As a black woman, especially in America, it's like you're not always sure of like the energy of like the place you are, but you know the skate park is solid. It gives me purpose. Like, there's a community that I can serve that gives me that energy back like tenfold. It's the place I want to be on my best day and my worst day.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Murdoch. I'm the president of the Skate Park of Baltimore. We're a 16-year-old nonprofit organization dedicated to building public concrete skate parks here in the city of Baltimore. This is a volunteer-based organization, so all of us do this work just out of love and passion for skateboarding. When I was in college, I started getting into skateboarding because one of my best friends started skateboarding, and she taught me how to drop in, and like after that first drop in, I was just totally hooked. You know, when I first started skating, there was only a few women at the skate park, and certainly there was like a little bit of like anxiety associated with that. Now I think I'm a lot more self-confident, but every time I go to a new skate park, like my palms tingle and like my feet tingle. And it's scary, but that's what makes it fun. Just like thinking about like the concrete, not really who's around me, you know, because I don't personally care if they're male or female or how they identify. I'm just there to skate and have fun, and I think like part of being a skateboarder and being in the skateboarding community, it's very accepting. We certainly have a ways to go and to grow, but I feel like it's a family. I've noticed over the years since I've been skating over the last 2 decades a drastic increase in the number of female participants, and especially now that skateboarding's in the Olympics, it's really opened up like a whole new world. And I think if anything, like women stole the show in the Olympics. And even nationwide, how many skate park efforts are led by either like female skaters or skate moms? And you know, I encourage you to keep doing that. You don't have to be a skateboarder to be a great skate park advocate. This is our very first skate park. It took us over a decade. It serves hundreds of young people every day. When I started working on this project, I was like 20 years old, and I was like, let's go to skate park, you know. I thought it would be like super easy. I put my phone number in the city paper, and I was like, help me build a public skate park in Baltimore. And I just had like random people calling me, but I had to learn so many skills along the way around like advocacy and grant writing and community development and fundraising and design and build, and it's a self-development tool, like a community development tool. I've had people move to this community just to be close to this skate park. This has been a kind of like a political stage for a number of socially conscious groups, whether it be Black Lives Matter, whether it be a trans rights group. Not only become just like a meeting place for skateboarders, but also a safe place for the exchange of social dialogue. That means a lot to me as well.
So we're about to announce the winners for our Skate Camp Scholarship Program, where we send 10 young people to youth skate camp and 4 young people to Camp Woodward.
I hope that young people realize that they are so vital to the future of not just Baltimore City, but like our nation. And I hope people find inspiration in skateboarding to like chase after dreams that other people might tell them that they're crazy dreams. And there's certainly room for everybody in skateboarding.
I'm Evie. I've been skating for about a year now, and it's been a really positive force in my life. My brother is a skater, and he's been doing it for like 8 years, and he's been trying to get me into it for basically all 8 of those years. And a year ago I finally like gave in, and I was like, okay, I'll try it, and it was really fun. So I kind of got hooked. It was a pretty inviting place. Like, it can be a little scary to be you're the only girl at a skate park and come into a new place and not know what you're doing, but it's opened me up to all these new people that I probably never would have known otherwise, like who I don't have a lot in common with besides skateboarding. Like that's the common link. Yeah, I don't know if they understand how scary it can be. Like, I have a brother who skates, so I kind of had that like entryway into it, but a lot of girls, it's like if they are interested, they don't really have any introductory means. They kind of have to be brave and go to this new place where they're kind of the odd man out, and that can be really hard. There's a lack of representation for girls, especially here, like just skating around DC. It's not like California where you'll see girls like shredding a bowl all the time. I would also love to see more people like supporting girls skating. Like, then I think that would help a lot, because it's really easy to feel like ostracized and like people don't like you or care about your progress when no one is talking to you, and that's a problem for a lot of girls and a lot of women. Like, they don't necessarily feel comfortable at skate parks because nobody makes an effort to make them feel comfortable, and that would be great if we could just have more acceptance, more inclusion. It's definitely more common with guys, but skateboarding is an everyone thing. It's the whole point of this is just to have fun. I know that there's plenty of girls who are interested and would like to be out here doing this. I see more people trying than I used to, which is great. So I have a couple students. They're little girls that I teach skating, and I've been doing that for like 5 months now. A couple who are like 8 and 9, and then I have one who's like 12. But it's really fun. It's nice to like see a new generation of girls get like interested in skating. And they're awesome. I mean, it's scary. Like, skating is hard, but you know, we take it day by day. We take it step by step. Skating has taught me a lot about perseverance. It's something that you have to put a lot of like work into. It doesn't come free. You got to pay to play, like they say. You have to be okay with falling and failing, and that's all. Honestly, the biggest part of it is like failure is a requirement. You're not gonna succeed if you're not okay with failing first. And that has taught me a lot, because in life, there's a lot of situations that are like that, where you know you can fail, and that could kill your whole spirit and make you want to quit. But you got to keep going. My advice would be just be brave. People aren't like judging you and looking at you the way you might think they are. Like, it's easy to think, oh, everyone thinks I suck, but in reality, people just like want to see you succeed. It's not a big deal to be bad at it. Everyone's bad at it at the beginning. The only way you're gonna get better is by throwing that out the window and just being like, okay, I'm bad at it, but I won't be forever. And when you do get it, that click, it's all the more satisfying. It makes it all worth it.
Hi, my name is Becca. I've been skating for 22 years, and I'm the owner of Ad Meliora Skateboards. Ad Meliora, it's a Latin phrase that means towards better things, and it's kind of what Ad Meliora Skateboards brand lives by. We do our best to make skateboarding more accessible for everyone. Our boards are set up for two ways to be purchased. One, you can purchase for yourself to skate, or you can purchase to donate. So purchasing to donate is great because, for example, I see kids at the skate park and they're just staring, so I'll approach them and ask them, like, do you have a skateboard? Would you like to skate? More often than not, they don't have a skateboard and they don't have the means of buying, you know, a skateboard. So this kid, for example, his family was from El Salvador. They were migrants and they're trying to make a living here. And I kind of just chatted with the mom and she was really excited. And so I got the parts, I got everything going, and then I was able to give him his complete. And he gave me the biggest hug and he was so excited, and it was honestly the best feeling ever. I had a lot of people help me out when I was a young adult, and yeah, I think it's super important to look after the next generation, right? Because they're our future, and I think that's why it's so important to cultivate, you know, like a generous mindset. A lot of us didn't come from like good households, or we grew up through a lot of like traumas, and I ended up choosing the lotus as our logo because a lotus comes from like kind of a shaky foundation. And I think that a lot of skaters can relate to that. You can be something beautiful and still come from a shaky foundation. I had taken like almost 7 years off of skateboarding, maybe more actually. Picked it up during COVID and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this, which is crazy because I did it my entire life. And that kind of just like, I was hooked again, and that's how I started skateboarding, and that's how the brand got started. I actually wanted to start the company / brand 3 or 4 years ago, but a lot of life things happened and I didn't end up starting the business. This idea kept coming up, like starting the skateboarding brand, and I just came to the conclusion that there was no perfect time to do literally anything. Starting is the hardest part for anything in life, and after that, like, you know, you learn along the way, but it's the biggest thing is like literally just starting. My whole life I've always been a jack of all trades, master of none. I don't want to limit myself to doing just one thing. My real passion is giving back, and I use all of these other talents that I have to allow me to do that.
My name is Tati Kolina. I'm a founder of SPACYcLOUD and Skate Girls Tribe. I conceptualized SPACYcLOUD back in 2012. It's a fusion of several different things. It's a coffee shop, a skate shop, a vegan restaurant, entertainment venue, and a community space. I was born in Soviet Union. During the 90s, we had the Iron Curtain. Everything that we learn about Wild West came through tourists. I wanted to learn what world they were coming from, so me and a bunch of other kids, we started to approach tourists, mostly young people, and we were exchanging different like KGB paraphernalia, KGB t-shirts, hats, different souvenirs in exchange for music, t-shirts or jeans or magazines. When we were approaching American tourists or American kids, we were chased either by Russian militia or mafia because it was illegal for us to talk to American tourists. It called my rebellious spirit out, and I was basically chased by militia for that, and I didn't think it was fair. I didn't know much about skateboarding. We didn't have skateboards in stores. I came to California in 1991. I came as a student and I saw skateboarders in San Francisco, and I was drawn to the culture because growing up on street in Soviet Union without having parents, and I realized early on that to be on the streets I have to be part of a community or a group so we could take care of each other. This is the same thing that I saw in skateboarding culture. I saw lots of kids come from families, or they didn't have families, or they had some kind of problems, and they were spending lots of time on the streets. And the skateboarders, they were also chased by police. I saw the same type of community. I felt it was the same type of spirit. I actually started with paper jackets. Then from jackets I started to do other different type of articles like dresses and skirts. I was experimenting. Then I started to do hemp clothing. I actually went to Japan, to Tokyo, to show off my hemp collection. And on the side I was also doing like smaller things like hats and t-shirts, like some skateboards. And I was collaborating with rap artists in DC, so they would wear my hats, SPACYcLOUD hats, and help to cross-promote each other. And then in 2017 I had an opportunity to open brick and mortar in Adams Morgan. I tried different concepts. I went to New York and I went to a Filipino restaurant. How Filipino people are using fruits and vegetables and meats and fish all together, and they were eating from this leaf, and it was such a beautiful communal experience. It was fresh, it was healthy, and I really thought it will fit SPACYcLOUD concept. I got really excited, so I started as a Filipino restaurant and I hired a Filipino chef. Things didn't work out, so I had to basically find a way to simplify and also thinking more sustainable or also healthier choices. My daughter was an inspiration for me. She's vegetarian. Even some people just been telling me, well, you're from Eastern Europe, you should have your cuisine here. And I wanted to push the boundaries because Eastern European people are very big into eating meats. But I also wanted to find my own way, and I wanted to use creativity, and it just made sense. That it didn't happen right away, but it was like step by step I was able to figure out what I want to do, and that's how I started serving Eastern European vegan. I really like to use SPACYcLOUD as a platform. We host art events, live DJs, fashion shows. We have done a lot of workshops with sustainability, and I believe this is helpful to create a community. The way I started Skate Girls Tribe, it was actually at the same time as SPACYcLOUD. My daughter wanted to get a skateboard, and we went to a skate park in Washington, DC. It was at the bridge, and we came, and there was another girl there besides my daughter, and there were a bunch of boys skateboarding. So neither my daughter or the other girl were skateboarding. They were a little bit intimidated, and I thought that if I had a bunch of girls here, they will kind of encourage each other and they wouldn't be nervous. That's how Skate Girls Tribe came about. I started to do events, skateboarding events for girls, and we went to Cuba to support women skateboarders in Cuba. My goal is to encourage women of all ages to not be afraid, and they can push hard and they can do whatever they want, you know. So I just want to inspire and encourage, because when I was a young girl back in Leningrad, I have lots of people who helped me on the street, and I wanted to kind of like pass it forward, and I wanted to do the same, and that's been part of my mission. Skateboarding is kind of like a village. In a skateboarding community, you have to have a skate shop and a teacher and an entrepreneur. You can create your own brand, somebody who's going to be building skate parks, somebody who's going to write about skateboarding. There are so many different channels that you can be part. You don't have to be only a skateboarder, or you don't have to be amazing at doing tricks. You don't have to go to skate park. You can still be part of culture if skateboarding makes you exciting.